Okay, so they're saying that schools across the state should rather adopt counseling. So when a child, would I say, misbehaves, or instead of punishing a child by flogging them, what you should do is to call them, sit them down, and counsel them. Now, the State Commissioner for Basic and Secondary Education, Mr. Jamiu Ali Balogun, made this known in an interview on Monday. He said that flogging students for indiscipline and other forms of misbehavior remains prohibited. He also said the aim is to guard against inflicting injury on student, the fainting of student, or even the death of any student due to flogging by a class teacher. I have veteran journalist, political, social, national, and international affairs analyst with me right here, Mr. Chukwuma Okoro. Always a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Choma. Thanks for having me.
All right. Flogging remains prohibited in schools. Two questions, really. The fact that this has been prohibited, does that mean, because I've teachers stopped flogging students and pupils, because the other day, I think it was earlier this year or late last year, we saw a video whereby a teacher was giving a little boy dirty slap, the kind of slap where you go blow your hand before you give dirty slaps. You know, so flogging has been prohibited in schools since 2022. Have teachers actually been adhering to this? What are the mechanisms that have been put in place to ensure that the teachers are actually adhering to this? Then on the other hand, discipline. Is counseling better than flogging? I don't know what you think about
Choma,
that.
the first answer to your question is I'll answer the question with a question. Since stealing or armed robbery has been prohibited, have people stopped armed robbery? The answer is no.
But when people go on armed robbery operations and they are caught, the justice usually prevails.
No,
right?
Since flogging has been prohibited, if there are sanctions, if there are punishment for that, any teacher that is caught flogging a child should also be meted those sanctions. Now, on the general issue of whether counseling or flogging should be the mainstay of correction, you know, for me, I think it's more like the westernization of our
culture,
not of society.
Because if you had said culture, I would ask, is it actually a part of Nigeria's culture? But yes,
no, it's part of African culture
to flog.
Yes, it's also part of it. You know, the thing about civilization is that civilization is dynamic, and it depends on which one, you know, is influencing the other. When they said you spare the rod and spoil the child,
yes.
Choma, no be Igbo they speak now, no be English they speak. Well, we're the ones that coined it. You know, when you talk about the carrot and the stick, is it not English language? Which means these things have been staying in Western societies. You know, so but the fact that they are moving ahead in terms of freedom, in terms of liberalism, in terms of whatever they call it, what I call permissiveness, you know, our society has become more permissive than it used to be. I'll take, for instance, when I was growing up, you know, like things have changed a lot. When we were growing up, a child was actually not owned by only the parents. A child was owned by society.
So community upbringing.
Community upbringing.
Anyone
you didn't need
the child for wrongdoing.
When I was growing up, you didn't need my parent, you know, to tell my teacher to flog me. You didn't need my parent to tell our neighbor to call me to order and sanction me if I do something wrong. In fact, if my neighbor punished me, and I went home and told my father or my mother what happened, I will receive another punishment. You know, so we were careful. We used to play in the village square, in the village ground and all of that. And there was this particular headmaster then. The man is still alive in his 90s now. If in the playground, if you sight him from afar, that soccer has ended that day. Because if he catches you, he's going to flog you, he will punish you, and he will come back in the evening to report you to your parents that instead of you to stay back at home and do your homework, you went to the village square to play. Choma, that is the society that we had when we were growing up. Now, the issue of, I understand where the Lagos state government is coming from, because some teachers have also overreached themselves. Maybe because some of them transfer aggression because of what's going on in society, you know, the lack, the inflation and everything. Now, they take it out on the child. I can understand. Why will you give a child 72 strokes of the cane? It's unacceptable. So I have children too. Now I go to for open day, and the teacher tells me, "Look, this your son is this your son is that." I say, "Madam, please don't tell me. If he misbehaves in class, please flog him. He said, no, we are not allowed to. I said, madam, I have given you express permission to flog my son. But don't do it to the point that you have to injure him. Do it to the point that you correct him. So more like I like a situation.
But when you say that and you talk about transferring aggression, the day that teacher comes and transfers aggression to your child and they injure him, wouldn't it be your fault?
I'll take responsibility because I've already given express permission. But I recall that I also gave a caveat that don't flog him to the extent that you have to injure him. Nothing like, Choma, how will you injure a child if you give a boy 6 strokes of the cane or 12 strokes of the cane on the buttocks, or a girl child on her palm? That is correction. And if you do it consistently, the child will. So it's a mix, the carrot and the stick. There are things that the child does. It requires mild reprimand. You caution the person. Look, you direct the person. This is the implication of your action. If you continue in this direction, this is where you are likely to end up. If you continue in this direction, you'll be better for yourself. But to outrightly say that flogging is prohibited, I'm against it. I don't like it because you are now sparing the rod to spoil the child. That is why we have what we call all these people that call themselves Gen Zs in society. They act irresponsibly. The permissiveness is permeated through their life. You see people behave as if they are not coming from homes and from cultures, very badly brought up people that pervert society now.
You cannot generalize.
No,
like
Choma, I do.
You are saying that Gen Z, they are badly brought up.
Very badly brought up. I'm talking in terms of percentage.
Do you know that your kids would fall under the umbrella of that Gen Z?
Do I have Gen Zs? Do I have Gen Zs? Okay, if I have, yes, they do. That's why I'm talking about the percentage. A whole lot of them are badly brought up. And I don't mince words in what I've said.
They are badly brought up. And their parents are people from your generation.
Exactly.
Who were well brought up.
How
come they could not transfer that being well brought up, that being responsible to their own children?
It is the problem of over-civilization. We tend to behave more like the Westerners than who we are. Choma, you see people very proud. You ask a girl, and I try to exempt the Yoruba people from what I'm trying to say now. You see an Igbo girl, I understand, but I don't speak. What is that supposed to mean?
So that not
and
knowing
you see
your language
Yoruba people that are brought up, that were
badly brought up.
No, it's part of it, Choma. If you cannot speak your language, the average Yoruba person that was even born and bred in the UK will speak Yoruba as fluent as she can. Why? Because his parents speak Yoruba to them in their homes. But our Igbo people, we are more even white. We are whiter than the white men. Hey, you see, all these things is part of it. And the Yoruba person will also, you hardly can see a Yoruba boy, a Gen Z, who will not give you the respect that you deserve. Lessa. They will greet you, Uncle Koto.
You paint Gen Z with the same brush of being irresponsible, and now you're trying to segment them by languages.
That's why I talked about percentage. That's why I talked about percentage, especially those of them that are brought up in cities. Very badly brought up and badly behaved.
If we want our kids to do well, we should take them to the village.
No, it's not taking them to the village. It's for the parents to do the needful and make sure that they instill African values on them. Choma, you can start from where you and I walk. Yes, you can start from where you and I walk. No, I have said it.
No, what exactly is the complaint? I may not know. Right?
I'm talking about the behavior.
Do I look like Gen Z?
No, I said you can start from where you and I walk.
I don't know what the complaint is. I may have an idea, but I'm not exactly sure what the complaint is when you say let's start from where you and I walk. Have you had issues with Gen Zs not actually being very responsible?
It's not a matter of having personal issues. It's about work ethics. It's about social cultures and all of that. I find them lacking.
I asked the question.
And it's everywhere. If you walk the streets,
you say that Gen Zs are, a lot of them are irresponsible or they are badly brought up.
Did I use the word irresponsible? Did I use the word irresponsible? I said badly brought up. All right. And their parents happen to be people from your generation. And I blamed my generation for that.
For not doing enough to bring their kids up well.
Exactly.
So you're saying that if we leave things the way they are and Gen Zs have children, we'll be going into a mannerless society.
Exactly. More permissive than we have today.
So you do not agree with the Lagos State government saying there should be no flogging in schools?
No, I don't agree with that.
Children need to be flogged.
Children need to be flogged. You spare the rod, you spoil the child.
Mr. Okoro, I'm not sure I really agree with you
No,
on,
but it's your
on
opinion.
saying children need to be flogged.
Yes, children need to be flogged.
But moderately.
Yes, moderately. You beat sense into them.
So
You bring them back to
counseling
track.
doesn't work?
No, that's why I said the carrot and the stick.
Or taking away some things that they like telling them, okay, you're grounded, no more screen time, take away their devices if they have any, don't allow them watch TV, don't allow them do those things that they like. If you know...
No, they should not watch. You don't take away screen time completely from them. There is time for that. There are time for other things. There are times for other things. So you have to apportion the time proportionally, so that the child will not be immersed in. And there should also be parental control about what they watch. That's all part of the discipline.
All right, then I want to move on from this particular conversation because I know I promised not to take too much of your time. Okay, let's move on to the northern region of the country where Sowore has slammed northern governors, called them ignorant, and something else I can't say on air, for closing schools during Ramadan fasting. I don't want to say too much. Let's just take a listen to this excerpt from and just hear what he said, what he had to say about this. So, Mr. Okoro.
Saudi Arabia, where everybody is headed to for lesser Hajj, did they close down their schools? Your leaders are ignoramuses. Basically, let me just put it straight, they are idiots. They should ask. And when I become the president of Nigeria, I've said it. They said we have no business with religion. So I can't be president and you come and close down schools because of fasting. No. It takes me back to outrage again that has become normalized. You're right, religion is sensitive. And by the way, I wish our Muslim brothers and sisters in Ramadan Kareem, they're fasting. But it is outrageous that anybody will close down schools where knowledge is supposed to be transmitted and transferred, including to Muslims. Because some of the schools that are going to be closed are also Quranic centers. So how do they learn Quran if the schools are closed down because of fasting? But it speaks to the depth of ignorance that has become a state policy in Nigeria. Like, your leaders are ignoramuses.
And he repeats it again. Do you agree with him on that particular point before we go to the closure of schools?
Whether they are ignoramuses and idiots. No, I will not agree with them. I wouldn't call anyone idiot in public anyway. And,
but you do that in private?
No, when I say in public, I'm always in public. I'm always in the public space. I wouldn't call anybody. I wasn't brought up that way, to call someone an idiot. Or
so your generation is well brought up.
Yes, I was well brought up, if you ask me, and many thumbs up to my mama, wherever she is. Anyway.
Okay.
Now, and my father too. But talking about being stupid, I'm not sure they are stupid. I think they are intentional in what they are doing. They understand clearly what they are doing. They are not ignorant. They are, like I said, they are intentional. They know where they are going to. They want to keep the people down forever, and and they know that understanding the levels of having a better understanding of education, will let them push back the frontiers of ignorance and they begin to ask for their rights. But if you ask me, 5 weeks is not enough. It's not a long time, to push to stop people from acquiring education. I think they are more intentional in using that religion to whip up sentiments against 2027. That is exactly what is at play
because
now.
You have a lot of Muslims actually trying to justify it by saying, the British education system which Nigeria follows is built around the Christianity, and that is why schools go on break during the Christmas season
and Easter period. Exactly the point. So that's why I'm saying that's why I said that they are intentional in what they want to do.
So when the people hear all these people are against a religion, they'll just
jump it. Jump, And so the whole thing is couched around 2027 general election. You recall where the thing started from?
The closure of schools in 2025.
In 2025, yes.
It's
that's why
of 2027
I said they are intentional because they are trying to project that sentiment, so that there are people who key into it. That's exactly what they are doing. Now, if you ask me, what happens to the Christian communities in those states? Bauchi State has a good number of Christians, just like any other state in the north. Even if you have 98%, 99%, 97%, what happens to the other 2% or so? By the way, there is no state you go to in this country that you have 98 or 97% Muslim. Even if the people from other states, live in those states that are not Christians, from the southeast, from the south, and from the southwest. So what happens to those population? The Christian girl, the Christian child that is going to stay at home for 5 weeks, what is he going to be doing? Observing Ramadan or what? So they are trying to exacerbate the fault lines that we already have, to ensure that, look, like I said, I keep saying this whole thing is geared towards 2027. But we'll see how the whole thing pans out.
It's just so sad because the cycle of ignorance keeps going
Shall we
round and
research
round, to the
something?
extent that the people who are suffering from this are the ones who are also trying to justify it. When Omokri came up to also say the same thing, and certain people look at him and then you wonder what is in the brains of these people, right? Were schools closed during Ramadan when you were growing up?
What did Reno say?
Well, he tried to justify, he talked about
Anyway,
how...
I made a policy not to respond to Reno for anything he said. For anything he says, I
Why
don't.
so? You don't think he
no,
makes
I don't
sense
indulge
most of
him.
the time?
He doesn't. He never makes sense. So I don't waste my energy. My creative energy is on Reno or Mokri. That's my position on him. Now, Choma, the point is this. Omoyele Sowore mentioned something. Saudi Arabia, where we go on pilgrimage, have they closed down schools? Meanwhile, their literacy level is 97%. Yes. But the literacy level of Bauchi State is 37 point something percent. Now, this thing is going to impact other states. I'm sure that by April or May, they'll start writing qualifying entrance into unity schools. Now, a child from Bauchi State, who has shut down school, who has shut down learning for 5 weeks, will go and compete. And when the child scores 29 or 30, the child gets admitted into a unity school, which we call federal government colleges. Now, the same child from Abia State scores 129. That child doesn't get admitted into a unity school because he or she didn't score up to 130.
So you have different cutoff marks for different regions.
Cutoff marks for different states. Now, a child from a state that is already disadvantaged is shutting down schools for 5 weeks. Now, this other child is at school for 5 weeks, and when they meet in the exam, one scores 29 or 30, gets admitted. One scores 129 and doesn't get admitted. What does that tell you?
But how is it that, how is it that northern activists and politicians do not see a problem with it? But I ask myself, who exactly are the northern activists?
I was about to ask you that. I mean, Sheikh Hussaini has practically said everything that he could say. And what has happened? Nothing has happened. I'm talking about Sheikh Hussaini, the former senator. He's he's like the last man standing in the north now. He has practically said everything that he's supposed to say, everything that he needs to say, but nothing has happened. And the people are unchanging. So it's quite unfortunate that we are getting this in the 21st century. This is 2025, and you're shutting down schools for 5 weeks, so that kids from primary, secondary, tertiary, including federal and state universities, for 5 weeks to observe Ramadan. Choma, what will a child of 7 years be doing observing Ramadan?
Mr. Akoro, the question I would actually ask would be, there's been this whole hula baloo about Sharia in the Southwest. There's certain people justifying it. There's certain people saying it shouldn't be. And the others saying, it doesn't affect non-Muslims. But with what is happening now, how can we actually say that if Sharia comes to the Southwest, it will not affect non-Muslims?
No, anybody that says that it will not affect non-Muslims is just trying to be economical with the truth. And the person is just playing smart by half, because it will.
Because
that is how it starts. Now, the question they have not been able to answer is, when you have a man and a woman, one of them is Muslim, one of them is Christian, and they have an issue, where are they going to resolve it? The other person says, okay, let's go to a Sharia court, and the other person says, let's go to a common court. What happens? They have not answered that question. And mind you, we understand that Sharia courts have been in existence in Lagos and in parts of Southwest. And the Grand Cadi of Kwara State, the other say that, look, that the Southwestern governors, there's nothing they can do to stop Sharia in the Southwest. So when such statements come out from a person like a Cadi in Kwara State, it tells you that, look, the plans have already been perfected to implement Sharia in the Southwest. But I'm happy that people are kicking against it. Why? Because Nigeria is a secular state. It's in our constitution. We don't have a state religion. So people are free to practice what they have to practice. But nobody should be forced to do otherwise. That's exactly the point.
All right, then let's quickly move over to the very next topic, Mr. Okoro. I don't want to keep you too long.
Jama, you already kept me longer than
I
you
know,
promised.
right? I know, right? Give me 6 moments. Just give me 6 moments. A massive protest erupted yesterday in Ogoni as over 30 various groups, including the Movement for the Survival of the Ogoni People, Mosop, staged a peaceful protest to demand justice for Ken Saro-wiwa and the Ogoni 8 who were executed in 1995 for their advocacy on environmental stewardship. Now, the group insisted that for the ongoing plan to resume oil production in Ogoni to succeed, it must be driven by Mosop, the grassroots movement, which led the protest that ousted Shell from Ogoni in 1993. Of course, the protesters displayed different placards with different inscriptions like "Clear Ken Saro-wiwa's name now," "No to forceful oil resumption," "We want peace for Ogoni 9," "Ribadu and Mite, leave Ogoni oil alone," "Stop the Ogoni genocide," and "No exoneration, no oil resumption in Ogoni land," amongst others. Mosop President Mr. Fegalo Nsuke, who addressed the protesters at the Peace Park in Bori, emphasized that the organization's input was crucial for any oil exploration activities to commence in Ogoni. Mr. Okoro, I really want you to wade into this situation. Are these people right? I'm glad that the protest was largely peaceful, but when they say oil exploration should not continue until there's been an exoneration of the Ogoni 9, including Ken Saro-wiwa, and of course compensation for the people who will be suffering from the effects of oil exploration.
Okay, the issue of Ogoni land, the pollution, the death of Ken Saro-wiwa is very unfortunate, and it is very touchy. I understand that politics, I understand the history very well, because I think I started my career as a young graduate in Port Harcourt City, you know. So I understand the complexities and the politics of Ogoni land. Now, the point of it is this. If you say, let's start with going back, oil companies going back, you know, for exploration of oil in Ogoni land. Now, the question will be, what happened to the pollution? What happened to the environmental degradation and all of that? What happened to the cleanup? What happened to the $1 billion, you know, that was pledged by the oil majors? You know, the culprits, like they like to call them, the culprits. That's the NMPC joint venture partners with, that is the Shell, SPDC, IGIP, and yes, NPC. That's the joint venture. Now, at a point, they pledged $1 billion. You know, out of that $1 billion, they said they were going to contribute $900 million, and the federal government will contribute $100 million. And that was in 2026 when UNEPA, United Nations Environmental Protection Agency, you know, conducted some kind of study and said they will require $1 billion for the Ogoni cleanup. Now, as at last count, they have contributed $666 million, you know, for that effect. Unfortunately, not much was done. Why? Because some of the people that collected the contracts were also people of Ogoni, and they didn't do the job. So who do you blame now? Of all that happened, the federal government placed $100 million, which as we speak, they never donated to that cause. Now, they had a OPA, Ogoni Project Agency or something like that, which was headed by the current Minister of Finance, Wale Edu, where he was commissioner. I think he had finished serving as commissioner for finance in Lagos. So he was the head of that agency, and not much was achieved. So if you are asking, like you recall that the president sometime in January or early February called river stakeholders and Ogoni people, you know, to come and hold discussions with him. And the matter on the table was what the federal government will do, you know, to appease the Ogoni people so that the federal government can go back, you know, to oil exploration in Ogoni land and increase, you know, our oil our quota. I think our benchmark is 2.06 million barrels per day. Presently, we are doing 1.3 or 1.4. So if we get into Ogoni, we're able to shore up production and probably limit our quota, you know, that gives vent to what we are trying to achieve with the budget proposals and all of that, despite the fluctuation in oil price within the international community. Now, the Ogoni people said, no, river stakeholders said, when they came back, Mosop, Movement for the Survival of Ogoni people, said, look, we were not part of that, so it cannot hold waters. And I think that is exactly what has given rise to this protest. Because there is disagreement. They say part of the people that went to meet with the president are not even Ogoni people, so they can't speak for us. Now, if they are talking about clearing the name of Saro-wiwa and the other 8, which is more like the Ogoni 9 now, you also recall that on the flip side, you have people whose fathers were killed. And those people, if you clear the Ogoni 9 name on the fact that, look, it wasn't Ken Saro-wiwa that killed the other 4 people, what happens? What will be the reaction of the other 4 people? So that's why I say it is quite touchy. It is quite touchy. But personally, I think I blame the Nigerian state for especially General Sani Abacha, for everything that happened in Ogoni land. There was no need to kill Ken Saro-wiwa. I think, he was pursuing a just cause. He talked about the Ogoni Bill of Rights. You know, what is the Ogoni Bill of Rights? You should allow us to take charge of our resources. Even if you don't allow us to take charge of our resources, why can't you treat us as normal people so that we live as normal people, decent people in our own homeland? Ogoni is an agrarian community, is aquatic. They have fishermen. Now their rivers, their waters were polluted by oil. You go there in streams, you scoop water like this. What you see is oil coming from broken pipes by exploration companies and all of that. And pipes were laid there since in the 1950s and until this moment. No form of remediation has been done. There's something that they call cathodic protection services. It's a way of protecting pipes that if you didn't protect them when you were laying those pipes, there's a technology with which you can protect the integrity of those pipes after they have been laid. It is called CPS, cathodic protection services, with sacrificial anodes and all of that. They haven't done that. Yeah, this is a community that has given the country millions of dollars in terms of revenue. And you are treating them like this. Now you want to go back to start the same oil exploration without clearing the pollution that you have caused the people. They go to farm, they plant crops, the crops the seeds don't germinate. Why? Because of acidity on the soil and all of that. So if you put all those things together, and it's like the president approving a university for them, it's more it's tokenism, if you ask me, because it doesn't solve their problem. So when the average Ogoni person is protesting, I know where they are coming from. And if you look at that Ogoni ethnic group, there seem to be a majority in Rivers State, because apart from them, I'm not sure there's any other local government that can boast of having no ethnicity that can boast of having 4 local governments. They have Tai, they have Eleme, they have Gokana, they have Kana. The next is Ikwere with Obiakpo and Ikwere. Port Harcourt, that is Faga 1 and 2, which is Port Harcourt City Local Government 1 and 2. It's divided because it's cosmopolitan. So you cannot really say that it's Ikweres that own it, because we have outsiders, natives, and all of that make up those non-indigenous that make up those local governments. So Ogoni land has a very big population, yet they have not been able. The other day I spoke with them, they complained. Apart from producing a governor, a deputy governor, they have not even produced the speaker of the State House Assembly. They have not produced the state chief judge. They have not produced, sparingly they get ministerial slots and all of that. And that is all that they have. And I asked them, what has Shell done? They said the only thing that Shell has done is to kill our people and despoil our land.
Mr. Okor, I really do not want to keep you so much. So for the next 3 minutes, we have, I don't know, Swage, right? I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the name correctly, but Swage Bade. He's the son of one Chief Albert Bade, who says that he was an eyewitness at the scene of the crime, where he said, my father and his friends were butchered by the set-up mob. My father told me Saro-wiwa wanted to take his life. So Ken Saro-wiwa was the mastermind of the killing of the Ogoni 4, including my father.
Okay, that is Bade's word. That is Bade's word against, because Ken Saro-wiwa Jr. also, he wrote a book. Oh God, I have that book, but I can't remember the title now. I read Ken's son, Ken Saro-wiwa Jr., Ken Ole Saro-wiwa Jr. He also read a book, and if you look at the book, you see there are accusations and counter accusations. It is instructive to know that Ken, because I was in Port Harcourt then, Ken was not even at the scene of that accident, of that incident. He was driving back to Port Harcourt when the state anti-whatever police authority had called off that meeting and said that the meeting should not hold. I was living opposite Ken in Port Harcourt, in Rumibe, where I was living opposite him when that incident happened. So I got wind of everything that happened. He was not even at the scene of the incident. So when Bade says, like, Ken says he wanted to kill my father told me that Ken wanted to kill him. It is his words against Ken's. And unfortunately, both Ken Saro-wiwa Jr. and Senior are no more there, to speak for themselves. So that's why I say it's very touchy. Now, when you say you want justice for Ken, if you say you want justice for everybody that died, the only way that you can achieve justice is to heal the families. Like when, what's his name? Yemi Oshibajo went there to launch the cleanup. He says, look, apart from healing the land, we also need to heal families and the people of Ogoni. Now, this is a time, to put a closure to everything that happened. I think that was in 1993 or thereabout. Yes, it was in 1994. That was in 1994. So the only thing that the Nigerian state can do to put a closure to everything that happened, the Ogoni 4, the Ogoni 9, the Ogoni 13, and all of that, is to make sure that they go back, rebuild Ogoni land, clean it up so that the people can live as normal people in their ancestral homes.
Mr. Chukwuma, thank you so dearly. You really have explained this issue. Thank you for coming. Honestly, when I saw this report, I said I just had to talk to you about it. I couldn't dissect this all on my own. You've brought a fresh and a different perspective to the situation, and I really appreciate you for that.
Thanks, Choma. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining me. Now we've moved away from the analysis segment. It's time for you to call in and be a part of the program. This is Matters and Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. I'm your host. My name is Chioma Innocent. I've been speaking with Mr. Chukwuma Okoro, who's been giving us different perspectives on the issue which we're talking about today. In case you're just joining us, welcome to the #1 station that gives you a voice all over the world. This is Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Yes, the program you're now tuned into is Matters, and we're discussing 3 pertinent issues this afternoon. First up, Lagos State says no more flogging of students, no more flogging of pupils in schools. Instead of flogging, you should counsel them instead. That is to say, any teacher who is caught flogging a child in school will go in for it. Okay? So that is what this means. And I want to know what you think about this situation. Do you think that children need to be flogged, actually? Children, do you think children need to be flogged? Spare the rod and spoil the child. Okay, do you believe that that's what it is? Or you should just say, oh, it's biblical. I mean, the Bible says spare the rod and spoil the child. So who am I to say that children should not be flogged? But you have to do it in moderation, right? But remember that the Bible also says, whatever you do in anger is a sin. Yes. So when you flog a kid with anger, it becomes a problem. But the fact that you think that what that child has done is enough to get them flogged, doesn't that mean that you are already angry? And when you put anger into the mix, you can flog that child in a way that you will injure them. The Lagos State government says they don't want incidents of kids fainting in school, maybe students fainting or being injured because the teacher flogged them, or maybe the kid can go mistakenly touch the pikin for eye, or just touches where it is not supposed to touch. And that is the reason why they're saying that there should be no more flogging of student pupils in school. So I really want to know what you think about these particular report. From there, we go to the north, where Showore is saying that northern governors who are closing schools down for Ramadan are ignorant. In fact, they're ignoramuses. Yes, from there we'll go to the south, where Mosop and 31 other groups staged a peaceful protest saying that if oil exploration is to begin in Ogoni land, then Ken Saro-wiwa and 8 others who were hanged for being environmental activists, or rather who were murdered for being environmental activists, their name has to be cleared, and the people of the people of Ogoni have to be compensated. So I want to know what you think about this particular situation. So call me up on 0803-692-9933, 0803-692-9933, or 0700-903-903-903, 0700-903-903-903. If you'd rather send a message on WhatsApp or call me up on WhatsApp, you can call the number 0817-175-6338, 0817-175-6338. We do not have too much time to take your calls, so every caller has 90 seconds and no more. Thank you so much for holding on. Thank you for holding on. Thank you. Good afternoon and welcome to Matters.
Yeah, good afternoon.
You have 90 seconds.
My name is Afunwa Dama, calling from Edimu.
Welcome to the conversation and thank you for joining me. Go ahead, please.
to flog students for schools is good. When all these children now they never flog them. You know, say before olden days, if you don't work out for us, you go hide yourself. If you are doing any bad thing, go stop. The fear go there because of the punishment we go receive when they flog them when they reach the school. And now this time around, no person they flog no punishment for students again. No student they fear teacher again. No fear. Even before, if you are for your house now, not be only one person that train pikin for olden days. Then you go.
So you go like make teacher flog your pikin, Abi?
Even at the time the owner of my
your pikin school.
My pikin school, I used to tell you if that girl or that boy do midday flog and well.
If you can't wound them, uncle.
You not go flog them by annoyance, maybe by
you go there. If you can't flog them with annoyance, can't wound them, uncle.
Make you wound them. Next time you go get sense. Because
make you wound them.
Now they flog. If you behave badly,
we go arrest you. We go arrest you. You the test teacher make you beat your pikin until you flog him.
He has not Igbo land. He an African country with day.
Okay, no wahala.
Here African country with day. If any student, if my son or my daughter be there for school, I believe the school where my children they go, they will feel they hear me now. They know what I'm capable to.
Okay, you go there, go fight them.
To pamper all the children of nowadays is not good. That's why they spoil.
Now so them flog you when you small.
My sister, if I tell you, you know what my teacher flog me? We know they call him Ken. We they call him Obri for our life for time of our school. My teacher, my vice principal at that time, see how they flog us. No be small thing.
Thank you, Afunwa. Thank you. Make we hear from other people. Yeah, thank you so much.
So that's my own contribution.
I appreciate you, Afunwa Dama. 0803-692-9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation. Every caller has 90 seconds, no more, no less. Hello, welcome to Matters. What's your name and location, please? Hello, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, Chike, I'm calling from my papa area.
Welcome, Chike. Thank you so much for joining me. Please go ahead.
Yes, I agree with the Lagos State government, but the bullies among the students should be exempted.
The bullies should be flogged.
Yes, because bullies can result to death. And it has happened in our prison so many times. So they should exempt the bullies.
But you know, the problem is that if you say they should exempt the bullies, anyone can be flogged and then be accused of bullying.
No. The bullies are not hidden. They have always been, they have always been
obvious. Okay. Thank you so much for your call. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of these conversation. You can also call the number 0700-903-903-903. It's 22 minutes past 2 p.m. on the number one station that gives you a voice. This is Matters, and we're discussing important issues. So join me. Let's talk about this. You have 90 seconds. Welcome to Matters.
Good afternoon, Soma.
Good afternoon. What's your name and location, please?
My name is Madam Eunice, calling from Agege.
Welcome, Madam Eunice. Thank you so much for your call. Please go ahead.
Thank you. The children of nowadays need discipline. They should not just leave all the students to be misusing anyhow. We are not in abroad. They should put maximum punishment for children so that the children will be disciplined like olden days. Concerning Ogoni, yes, that protest, I back them up. Because every state now has to demand their own rights from government. No need of fighting, no need of doing wahala. Let everybody now begin to demand their own rights from federal government. Because for Niger Delta, the cheating is too much. They should do what is good for them. Because those people, they are not eating again, they are not going to farm, nothing. So they should try to settle them and make the place they okay. Because it's that side that is feeding Nigeria, is making all these governments, every people now want to be a politician because of the money they are getting from Niger Delta. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much for your call. I appreciate it. Short and simple. 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. If you dial either of these numbers, you'll be able to reach me directly in the studios. You can also send a message on WhatsApp or call me on WhatsApp. I know that tariffs have increased, okay? So you can call me on WhatsApp, 0817 175 6338. Hello and welcome to Matters. What's your name and location, please?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Adebayo.
Yes, welcome.
Yeah, I'm from a good Agbado. Please, you see the issue of flogging child or don't flog inside. You see, the people who are ruling on this court, they are very wicked. How can you say we should leave our school? It should not touch them at all. And then we just allow them to grow like military, just like that. But when they want to take their own school, they take it to.
So you are not happy about what Lagos State government is doing?
How can you say we should not flog with our children? How can they? All what you say that is, I just the mad teacher who likes to wound the children. You who are talking to the children now. Don't you know you are trained? You don't live here alone to do whatever you like when you are young. I am. Apart from the fact that they came in the house, after misbehave in the community, everybody look out, take care of us. You don't misbehave in the school, they will tell you. But there are some mad people that like to wound their children. Those are the ones that is target. How can you just leave children without it? The Americans they are talking about. Go to America, they beat children there. They spark them. They have to say sorry with that spark the children when they meet. How can you say our home as a common people is our children? If you leave them alone, and then you allow them to
but if they don't flog the child at home, at school, you can still flog them at home now. You want them to, they should flog the child at school and still flog them at home?
That 4 hours, 6 hours display in school. It's a very special hour. This will allow the children to be trained and take them, but it's not people that they kill them with annoyance or with hatred. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Thank you so much.
Not afraid.
Thank you so much, Mr. Adebayo. I do appreciate you. 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. That's the numbers you can call to be a part of this conversation. You can also call me on WhatsApp or send a WhatsApp message to 0817 175 6338. Okay, you can call me on WhatsApp now. Take your call. I will. 0817 175 6338. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What's your name and location, please?
I'm Mr. Paulinus. I'm calling from Isolo.
Please go ahead, Mr. Paulinus. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, I want to contribute over all those child of the loss of the victim. To me, I could have. It's good to discipline a child, but sometimes those teachers they are too harsh. But to me, I prefer that if a student is stubborn or misbehave, try to invite the parents. Tell the child that I want to see your parents. Then when the parents come to the school, you explain to the parents that, do you like me to be flogging this boy, or should I leave the child for you? Because some parents, if you flog their child, they will carry problem and go to the school. So if the person say, don't flog my child, though, leave anything, I beg, don't flog, you leave the child for the person. Because somebody like me, I like what Afun Adama said. If my child do anything, flog him or her. I don't think it's a bad thing, because during our own, that is how we saw it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I do appreciate your call. 0700 903 903 903. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me.
Good afternoon.
What's your name, ma'am? Oh dear. Hello, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? I can hardly hear you. Grandma Maggie. Grandma Maggie, what did we do to you?
Hear you. I can hear you very, very well. Yeah. Well, that it is because of children. That is why I am talking now. Otherwise, I have getting out of VOP.
Grandma Maggie, what did we do? We're so sorry. What did we do?
This lady insulted me. What is this? What is her name? Precious. Because I made some comments. She said after reading some statement out of. He said you can give the rest to your children. What kind of insult is that on a national station?
I'm sorry about that. That's just one person. That's not the image of the station.
She was going to even reply and say she was sorry, but she kept mute as if it's nothing, telling me she read something, take the rest to your children.
I'm sorry.
It is because of children now I'm talking.
Yes. We appreciate you. We appreciate you so much. Grandma Maggie, thank you so much for calling. I'm glad that you did not allow that one situation to just take you away from VOP totally. That is not the image of the station, okay? That is just one person's opinion, and it doesn't mean you're like that. But thank you for calling. Please go right ahead. We have a lot to learn from you.
Yes, you see, in those days, we used to have soldiers in our schools. One soldier. That when a child does something wrong, they will send that child to a soldier. So that fear alone, that well, a soldier will beat me, it was like there was discipline. My daughter attended the command secondary school, and the teachers don't beat them. They will send them to whether say the name of the soldier that will discipline them. You will see them running from the gate when they are late to school. Because once they sight the soldier from Ikeja Cantonment Gate, they will start running down to the school. So where there is no discipline, this is Africa.
But Grandma Maggie,
Grandma
Maggie, right? Can't you say is instilling fear in a child, is it the same thing as discipline? Doesn't it mean that even when those people are not there to enforce that discipline, then the child will act in any way they like because they were acting out of fear?
When they act the way they like, just like the last caller said, invite their parents and tell them this is what the child is doing in school. A parent that is disciplined, the school will know. But by that, they should not use a little rod on. I don't.
So spare the rod and spoil the child.
Yes, I don't subscribe to it.
Thank you, Grandma Maggie. I appreciate your insight. I do appreciate your insight. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Keep listening to Voice of the People 90.3 FM, okay? 0700 903 903 903 or 0803 692 9933. If you call either of these numbers, you reach me directly. Good afternoon.
Yes, TK is back. So sorry, somebody wanted to catch me before. I was saying something. So the reason why I couldn't answer that question is because I am not married. I don't have. I'm not yet. I don't. But I know the best thing to do is to exempt the bullies among children in school. Those ones that bully their fellow students should be flogged. They deserve it. So that is my own contribution.
Thank you so much, Chike. Appreciate you. 0803 692 9933 0803 692 9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Great to hear from you. What's your name and location?
This is Mazi Kemet. I'm calling from Yanibada.
Welcome, Mazi. Great to have you here. Please go ahead. You have 90 seconds.
Yes, I want to talk about this school discipline.
Okay.
Yes, it is good. Yes, I support. Is it local state? I support them. If you don't discipline children, if you don't flog them anyway, they will not get the right sense.
Wait, so you say you support Lagos State government? Lagos State government said don't flog children in schools.
Okay. I thought that they said is to flog. Okay, I didn't support them. I disagree with them. But the best is to flog children, to discipline them. Yes, not because I was trained that way. I want my children to learn. Okay, and I don't support a teacher to flog until the girl will die of it. 6 strokes of cane is okay. My children's school, one time like that, the parents came to the school because the girls, when the children come back from school, the mother will ask, who beat you in the school? Who find your trouble? And the girls now tell the mother that my auntie flogged me, just flogged me. They prepared the next day, came to the school and naked a teacher. Right? Is it right? like that lady that slapped a girl. That lady needs to go to prison now. That slapped her student. She needs to go to prison. But that is not the right thing to do. Let us allow the teachers to train our children. If you don't allow your teacher to train your children at home. Thank you, God bless.
Thank you so much. 0803-692-9933, 0803-692-9933. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, John Minus.
What's your name and location, please? I'm great. Welcome to the conversation. Go ahead, please.
Oh. Okay. So what I'm going to say is regarding the school discipline is that I don't really support them completely by saying they should not flog them, right? Discipline is necessary, but what I think should be done is punishment, and it should be relative to the particular child. You can be flogging or punishing a little child, but there are ages whereby you know that this one is matured enough to serve certain punishment. But you see, when it comes to flogging, seriously, it's because some teachers are frustrated with the way the country is right now. They can take it out on the kids, just like the issue with the teacher that was slapping that little child. That's out of frustration. So flogging, I don't really support it. You can punish, tell them to kneel down, give them extra assignment and homework, let them keep on doing it to the pass it. You understand? Just let there be something that will let them know that if you do this thing, this particular thing will be done to you, so that they will know that, okay, even if you're not punished, then you will start to punish. Then regarding the school that was shut down for 5 weeks, right?
Yes.
I just Choma, see, but you can now see that aside bad leaders, another problem we also have is religion and tribalism. Because I don't understand the essence of doing that. What do you now say to Christians that are going to that particular school? Just because you're observing your own stuff, you understand? It doesn't really make any sense to me. You can say because they are fasting.
Does that mean you agree with Shore about many of them being ignored?
Of course, that's our problem. That's our problem in this country. We just take the religion so seriously, and if not by religion or prayer, this country would have been better by now. So inside all these things, we're not saying anything. You can say because you are fasting, don't close by 2, which is your normal time. Close by 12 so that you can at least preserve your strength, go home and do what you're doing. Instead of closing by 4, close by 2. There should be something like
closing the schools down for 5 weeks.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
5 weeks is a month plus for you to just put a stop to education or learning because of your distance. So religion and tribalism, bad leaders, that's the problem we're facing. And unless we are ready to trash it, we won't move forward.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your call. 0803-692-9933, 0803-692-9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation. I really want to hear from you. We're talking about quite a number of issues right here on the program. So call me up and let me hear from you. 0803-692-9933, 0803-692-9933. You can also try the number 0700-903-903-903. Good afternoon and welcome to Matters. I'm glad I'm able to get through to you. Welcome.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
Yeah. What's your name? Okay, great. Where are you calling me from, Ugochukwu?
Ugo is calling from UK.
Great. Go ahead, please.
Ogachukuma, good afternoon, sir.
Ogachukuma is not on seat at the moment. He just came for the analysis segment.
Okay. I appreciate all he said, but my question is this. Did flogging children in school actually make a society good at the end? Let me use here. We stay in overseas where they don't beat anybody. But at the end of the day, they have community. Though you can choose to be a pig in your own domain, maybe in your bedroom or whatever. But once you come out of your doorstep, you will keep your environment to the standard. You know what I mean? That it will be accessible to everybody. So
that is whatever you choose to do in your house. If you have a no flogging policy or a flogging policy in your house, it's okay.
No. If you have flogging policy, just as Nigerians are saying, beat the children, those children that were trained that way, At the end of the day, they only end up seeing their immediate brothers are the only people that's supposed to live, and then that person that is around them become a prey. You get what I mean?
Mm.
But in abroad, they have system. I think the problem is systematic. It's not about beating children or not beating children. You understand? It's good to train children, caning them, at least discipline them with care, because the Bible says if you spare the rod, you will spoil the child. But what I'm saying is this: what have those things? What have those discipline? What have those respect that we are trying to impart on children? What has it actually given to the society? What is the outcome in the society in general?
Mm.
You get my question.
Gochuku. Thank you so much.
Yeah, because we only have families, we don't have communities and societies anymore. And those people that we are beaten that we are beaten and treated by were those that are in government house now. They were those that you get what I mean.
You are saying a lot of them did not turn out responsible despite the purported
That's what
discipline.
I'm saying. Despite that, because they are the people that are embezzling Nigerian wealth, spreading them all over the world. Why these people, the white people that are not beaten, they are not can, they know that they have society and they will protect it. They know that they have hospital and you use it, another person don't use it. They know that they have transportation system that must work. They know that they have road that must work. But Nigerians that were disciplined this way ended up only knowing themselves and their immediate family, while others are prey. That's what I'm saying.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I do appreciate your opinion. Appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. I can see your comments on YouTube and your messages on WhatsApp. Do keep them coming. Hello, welcome to Matters. Are you there? Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. What's your name and location, please? Okay, I don't know what's going on, but it's okay. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. Call this number and you can get to be a part of the conversation. Okay, you can also call the number 0700-903-903-903. 0700-903-903-903. That's the number you can call to be a part of these conversations. You can also send a message or call me on WhatsApp 0817-175-6338. 0817-175-6338. Okay. Hello. What's your name and location, please? Welcome to Matters. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
What's your name and location, please? Welcome, Big Prince. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Chioma Innocent. I supposed to say something now, but actually, because of time, our teachers need psychological evaluation. Evaluation in the aspect that whosoever that is handling children need to have a very clarified statement of his rank status. What do I mean by that? By any federal government recommended hospital, so that needs to be pinned with their own curriculum vitae, so that we know the people that we hand over our children to. Even in your home, if you don't know how you control yourself, you will do more than the teachers, because of how children of nowadays do behave, even in our home, which we cannot deny. It is very important. It's not an issue.
Okay, Big Brains.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Big
Flogging
Brains.
or not flogging, because even at all, oh my God.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you. Yes.
Explain more.
Yes, you can send a message, okay? Send a message. Let's hear from others. It's important that we get to hear from everyone. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Turn down the volume of your radio set and give me a call back. 0700-903-903-903. 0700-903-903-903. That's the number you can call to be a part of these conversation. Call me up. Hello. Welcome to Matters. What's your name and location, please?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Where are you calling me from?
I'm calling you from Ikeja.
Welcome to the program. What's your name and location, please?
Henry is my name, calling from Ikeja.
Great. Go ahead, Henry.
Okay, I want to take it from the angle and the strict. If you are a student of management, when a child does well, you reward the child. So why is it that when the child does wrongly, you are not allowed to at least apply a measure of discipline?
Counseling.
Counseling is one of it. It's not all of it. even in our nation, we have what we call correctional centers for deviants. Why don't we say, okay, because we don't want to go too hard on them, just cancel them and let them go? We put them in prisons for some period of time. Some even get capital punishment. So what we're saying is, it's always good to apply the carrot when you need to reward, and then apply the stick when you need to discipline. These things go hand in hand. But the only thing is, let's regulate the extremist teachers who want to vet even home anger on children. And when we have such regulations, I think it's always good to balance it. If a child does a little thing, you could even say, go to the field, cut the grass. You could even say, go to the toilet, wash it. So these little disciplinary measures go a long way to shape us. Because I'm looking at the government also saying, okay, now, even if you're the best child in the class, we are canceling reward systems. No more award, what do they call it? These gift awards they give to excellent performing children. So why do you want to ban one and leave one? So let's balance it. Life is all about balances.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Yes, for your call. I do appreciate it. 0803-692-9933. 0803-692-9933. That's the number you can call to be a part of this conversation. Hello there. Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Hi. Welcome to the program. What's your name and location, please?
Someone calling from Mayogo.
Welcome to the conversation. Go ahead, please.
Hello.
I'm with you. Go ahead.
Hello.
I can hear you. Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
All right. Gonna have to give me a call back. I can only take one more call to end the program today because I need to start taking your messages on WhatsApp and your comments on YouTube. Hello. Welcome to Matters. Oh dear. All right. You're gonna have to give me a call back. Welcome to Matters. Turn down the volume on your radio set. 0700 903 903 903. Please try to turn down the volume on your radio set before you call. All right. If I can hear myself, the conversation will not be smooth. Welcome to afternoon. Hello, are you there? Welcome to Matters. Good afternoon. Did you call me and forget that you called me? All right, then call me up. Hello, welcome to Matters. What's your name and location, please?
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Matters.
Hello.
Waiting they happen now. All right. I think I can't take any more messages at this point. I would have to just start. I can't take any more calls, rather. I'll have to start taking your messages on WhatsApp and your comments on YouTube. Okay. Let me begin from YouTube and take some of your comments. Right, we do have quite a number of comments on YouTube. It's VOP 903 FM on YouTube. VOP 903 FM on YouTube. Those of you who want to see what Choma Innocent looks like, head on over to YouTube, okay? Joshua Osolu says, why is the buttocks of the male child not seen as the same as that of the female child? Can someone explain? I think that was because of the comment that Mr. Chukuma Okoro made about when you flog the male child on the buttocks, or you tell the girl to bring her hand and flog her on the palms. I beg you. All right. Ojebeke now asks the question. Joshua, if you did butoxology in school, this is not the right platform to present your question. Just comment on issues. Okay. Then he says Nigeria and Afghanistan, Czechoslovakia and Yugoslavia. Tochiko Adiele says, good afternoon. They must learn to allow the dead to bury the dead so that they can move on. If Ogoni land is cleaned at whatever cost, will oil exploration begin to thrive? Africans were cajoled into the mantra to spare the rod and spoil the child. It's been proven wrong because those that put it in the holy or super books have made laws to enable the child sue the parent for flogging them. They have also made laws to criminalize and call it domestic violence, the beating of female by male or for whatever reasons. For example, he can say he wants to sleep in the morning when trying to prepare him for school in the morning because of late night cartoons. When this happens, you can tell him to go to bed earlier enough as can make him responsive to bathing for school in the morning. A lawyer Noha says, Chama, my love, I greet you. Lagos State should be careful what they wish for. Okay. Thank you all for your comments on YouTube. All right. Yes, let me take your messages on WhatsApp instead. Okay. Let me see. Who's still sending good morning by 1:44 p.m.? Why now? All right. Good afternoon, Chioma, an esteemed guest. The argument that festive seasons favor Christians may sound correct, but Muslims don't have definite dates. Even Saudi Arabia does not do that. The leaders are selfish. Their own children don't school here. Unfortunately, those that will suffer you to be supporting them sheepishly. Even educated people, Simisola from Isolo, Lagos. John from Ijaniki says, Shema, I was born and brought up in Kano State. During the military government, closing time of school during Ramadan was adjusted, but it was never shut down. All these politicians in the north are using religion to control the mindset of their ignorant people. No wonder Saudi Arabia invested $600 billion in US only to send 100 tons of dates to northern Nigeria because they are not productive. Good afternoon, Chioma and Mr. Okoro. It is quite unfortunate that the northern political elites will rather fund Islam than fund education. They do this because it's easy to brainwash the masses with religion and dominate them. They don't fund education because education will liberate the masses. Religion is their tool for domination. I also testing the non-Muslim reactions to prove we own Nigerian. The northern political elite are very intentional about all the shenanigans going on. Is it careful, Bejigbo? Honestly, I just have to agree with you that it is shenanigan, because why are you shutting down school for 5 whole weeks? What happened to adjusting the closing times, right? What happened to adjusting the closing time? If they used to close by 2, you say, okay, close by 12. If they used to close by 4, you say, okay, close by 2, so that if anyone is fasting, they can go home and rest. Quite unfortunate. Good afternoon, Esther, and all the guests in the house. My name is Chioma Innocent. But if you call me Esther Ngachko, I won't answer because it is not my name, but it will be an honor. My name is Gabriel from Ikorodu. When I think about political leaders in the north, I see them with colonial mentality. They want to colonize the rest of us, always in the act of showing that they are superior and their religion is superior. If a Christian governor in the north tries to introduce such closure of schools in the northern states, they will declare war and dare not abide by it. If we continue to play a mixture of religion and politics in this country, we shall suffer the consequences sooner or later. I have, okay, that is from Gabriel. Yes, Gabriel from Ikorodu. Thank you. I have long known that this will happen, like a game of musical chairs. It's a way for P-Bar to show Sanwo-Olu that he's only in power in Lagos, but not in control. Olushoga Ajayi from Odunla in Ikorodu. Olushoga, you will leave what we're talking about. You will talk about what you want to talk about. I rate that. I really rate that. Good afternoon, my love. Who be this person where they love me up and down? Joe. On my own, no, what Lagos State is saying is not good. Discipline a child is not bad. Bye. Chibuzo from Oshodi. Chibuzo, thank you so much for your message. I do appreciate it. Good afternoon, Chioma. The fact is we are losing our heritage gradually. We make laws without striking balance. It's well. I don't concur with the ideas of not disciplining the child in school. It is wrong. AmyTech.com. Chama, what's up, guys? And go now. Chama, this is Africa. We discipline our children with flogging with love. Period. Chama, I love you and Esther too much. Emmanuel Chiano from Ejigbo. Thank you so much. We appreciate the love. Mary from Okeafa says, children should be flogged at school, but must not be excessive and not with anger. Again, if this is one country, all the schools should remain open for both Christians and Muslims, primary and secondary. They should end their fasting during break time. What God is looking at is your heart. Again, government should not keep quiet over this school closure, especially the Minister of Education. Do the right thing to keep Nigeria united. Good afternoon, my sister. Is Mr. Paulinus from Isolo. Okay, thank you so much for your message, Mr. Paulinus. Moving on, I'm still taking your messages. I can't take any more calls because our time is fast spent. But if you send a message, a WhatsApp message to 0817-175-6338, I will take it before the program is over. Flogging will only make children stubborn. Flogging is not the only way to reprimand or punish a child for wrongdoing. The truth is that we Africans lack ideas on how to punish children. This is according to Sylvia. Sylvia, you didn't tell me where you're writing from, but thank you so much for your message. Yeah. Chioma Innocent. As you can see that 95% of callers supported flogging of children in school. I go with them, flog them. Elder Deacon Owo, Mafoluku Oshodi. Thank you so much for your message, Elder Deacon. My good day, my sister. People that were flogged, they are in the government now. We can all see their behavior. Imagine the people that are not disciplined in the government tomorrow. I pity the next generation. Sheyi Cots from Itire. Okay. Send your messages 0817-175-6338. Good afternoon. I agree with the word, spare the word and spoil the child. I agree with the Lagos State government, but you see, some of the teachers are not qualified to undo these children. Some transfer aggression. Children are sent to school to acquire knowledge and discipline, not to be flogged. Thanks. Nze Oletika from Agor. Thank you so much for your message, Nze. Okay. Every negative development is found in Nigeria because of bad leadership. Why do you flog children for any reason? If not that such teacher is frustrated as a result of bad leadership. Billy from Ikotun. Billy, well, if the child is doing something that they're not supposed to do, how can you say bad leadership is the reason why why teachers flog kids. All right, good afternoon, Chama. I read my messages in full. When the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse or misuse is inevitable. Nigerian has the highest out-of-school children, but you can see the elites don't want to educate the poor because of election gains, so they can do vote buying and breeding agberos and illiterates to manipulate them by increasing school fees and giving student loan, which is a low-grade minded there. The money these sycophants donated to IBB, they use the money to build schools in the north to educate their Almajiri or out-of-school children. Is it not better than building a library that only the elite will be able to go to, not the common man? Or if then to try and resolve the insecurity in the north, look at the ignorant governor giving 5 weeks holiday for Ramadan. It's a shame the worst of us is ruling the best of us. Truly, there was a country. Daya from Lagos, that message was from you. Thank you so much for writing with me up until this point. I do appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. It's always a pleasure whenever we get to have these conversations. Now, it's important that we actually have these conversations and get to give you a voice so that you know what is happening within the Nigerian polity, and so that you also get to contribute to these issues. As they hear government's voice, make them safe, they hear your own voice. That's what it is, okay? And that is the reason why we make sure that we always try to come here and bring you up to date, just keep you abreast of issues that are happening in the country, because you matter, because you are a Nigerian, and because Nigeria belongs to all of us. That said, it is time for me to vacate the studios. I have to go, but thank you so much for riding with me this afternoon. Every time I get to do this, my heart bursts with immeasurable joy. Thank you so much for riding with me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining the conversation. Thank you for watching on YouTube. Thank you for sending your messages. Thank you for leaving a comment. Honestly, I understand that tariffs have increased and everything is just much more expensive than it used to be. So whenever you use your time and efforts, you expend it on VOP, we'll always appreciate you. Okay, so thank you for riding with me. Funhouse time comes up shortly with MC Chooks and Dr. Walkie Talkie. My name is Choma Innocent. Matters will make a return same time, same station tomorrow. Until then, remember to do the best that you can to make Nigeria better in your own little corner of the world. It's not just about what your government, what your country can do for you. It's about what you as well can do for your country. Have an amazing day.